Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. We're going to be looking at the week of June 12th through June 19th, and we have a very wonderful super full moon in Sagittarius that's happening on the 14th. Now, it will be at like 5:51 a.m. Mountain Time, so it'll, of course, vary throughout the world wherever you may be at. But there's some wonderful things coming in. First of all, it is a super full moon, which means it's going to be closer to us. Like I have a little diagram here of this is the sun and this is the earth and here's the moon. The full moon happens when it's over here and it's shining, beyond the earth where we can see it. In the night sky, of course. But it's called a super full moon because the moon does not orbit in an exact, orbit, very exactly circular. It's more oval. So when it's, orbiting like this and it comes into a closer spot normally than when it's out here, these are when they are super moons. So that's what's happening. It's just closer to the earth, which means that it has more of a gravitational pull. It's stronger energy, and so it's going to be extra emotional energy. And oh yay, but what's great is that it is in Sagittarius, and so that Sagittarius energy really brings in this fullness, this kind of fruition. It can have some drama, either, exciting dark drama or exciting happy drama, because it can bring in that optimism and the good luck of that Sagittarius and Jupiter energy that comes in with that. And it always goes, Sagittarius deals with travel and international things, language, cultures, international business, even learning and education. So there's going to be a lot of themes that can be happening and being touched by this super full moon during this time. And we are definitely going to look into that, because the Sagittarius energy also allows you to see things from a higher perspective. So that's one thing that we will look at for your reading, is what can you see from a higher perspective this week. Another exciting kind of astrological thing that's happening with that super full moon is that the Neptune is actually going to square with the sun and the earth, and the moon. So that is not a super fun kind of energy that comes in with it, because Neptune is going to be whispering too. So there could be some confusion, there can be some self-doubt, some second guessing of yourself. And so that's one thing we'll look at too, is what is Neptune whispering in your ear about your worth. So we'll look into that too. But that's kind of like not the bad news, it's just challenging news. But the positive news is that Saturn is actually at a beautiful degree with the moon, which is basically Saturn's all about long-term gains and like extra oomph, extra energy coming in that's going to help you with some forward movement, especially since Mercury just came out of retrograde, like on around the 3rd or 4th, and towards the end of this week on the 19th is when we're completely going to be exiting out of even the shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So you're going to have all this energy to have this forward movement. So that's something else we'll ask, is what long-term gain can Saturn bring into you? And then, of course, we'll also dig in for some advice. So an exciting reading. I can't wait to get into this for you. I have going to provide a reading for each zodiac sign. And I'm going to go ahead and start with yours right now. All right, Aries, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, and we're going to ask with this one, what can you see from a higher perspective during this week? Now, any of the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. Let's give these a quick shuffle. Of course, Sagittarius energy for this super full moon is all about the fire energy, which is also your energy. So you're going to love this feeling. You're used to feeling the fire. So for our Aries, what area of their life, or where can they see from a higher perspective in their life this week? All right, they do want this one for you. And we will take a look here, and it says a deep breath. So I love that card. I don't know if you can see that little bit of a glare. There you go. So that's card number 7. We'll put this over here by the super full moon and just see what energy that comes in here for you on what you can look at from a higher perspective. So the key concepts of this card are a genuine expectation of danger, projection of a threat without substance, fight or flight mode, inability to focus, trusting in the universe as a way to release fear. So you can see your fears and the challenges in your life from a different perspective. Because it says here, fear is asking for your attention and healing right now. You or another are operating from the position of fear. If you also see red flags, you might be headed toward a genuine danger, perhaps repeating a lesson you don't need to learn again. You can honor this kind of fear by saying thank you and protect yourself by choosing another path. In this moment, you have all it takes to make the shift. If, on the other hand, the fear surrounds the idea of taking a risk, be mindful. Radical trust and accepting the discomfort of the new is called for as you move out of your comfort zone. Ask for courage to take a leap into the unknown and know that all will be well. But know that all will be well doesn't mean all you have come to expect. So basically, it's not like, oh, okay, everything's going to work out exactly as I wanted it to. No, it just means that everything will be fine. You'll be okay, even if all your expectations are not met. It says stories from the past may be molding your expectations right now and causing fear based on anticipated hurt. So don't isolate yourself or fall for the false idea that life is too painful and engaging with it should be avoided. How about loving that side of you that is afraid, that is acting out and causing all this unnecessary commotion? You will never be happy if this small part of you controls your life, as it will if you allow it. However, remember to be gentle with yourself and others. And once you let go and relax into your life, everything looks brighter and friendlier. Today, choose love over fear. You'll be amazed when you do. So that higher perspective, you basically are being able to see, it's like the Lover's card in my mind, because the Lover's card, it shows two people and it's all about the choices that we have of our emotions. Every moment we have two choices, either to choose unconditional love of the heavenly realms of that amazing power of who you really are, or of the fear of losing that conditional love of the human world. And so this higher awareness that you can find during this beautiful super full moon is that you have a choice, and no choice is wrong. We come here to experience both. But if you're during this week, they're kind of prompting you to say, give it a try. Try choosing unconditional love over the fear of losing the conditional love. So this is beautiful for that. Then, like we had talked about with the Neptune influence, we're going to see what Neptune is whispering to you about your worth. What are they whispering in your ear about your worth? And we're going to use the dark tarot or the black tarot to see what is being whispered in the dark to you. Could even be in your subconscious. You may not be aware of it, but this is what this is for. To see what you can be aware of this week about what Neptune is whispering to you. So for our Aries, okay, that's the card right there. And you've got the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, Wands is your drive, your ambition, your passion, your inspiration, your energy, and your spiritual energy. And she's also about confidence and about putting your energy into action. So I really feel like this has some to do with this fear here too, of the whispering that you can't do that, you can't accomplish that. Who do you think you are? You can't go to that extent, maybe just a little bit, but you can never make it big. They're kind of like saying, stay small, don't put yourself out there, you can't do that. So it's this challenge of your your abilities, a challenge of your just the energy that, and you are full of fire. Wands is your energy. And you can say, I'm Aries. I got all the fire that I need. And you can really look at like flipping it and realizing that you are very, very powerful. The Queen of Wands is so confident in her decisions and how she does things, because all the queens, in addition to their own element, which is fire, they also have water element, which is the ability to connect to the higher realms. So when choosing this unconditional love, you can really tap into that powerful unconditional love energy too, and listen to spirit, ask spirit, for advice, for signs, for whatever it may be that you are unsure of. Ask them to give you confirmations and affirmations, and they definitely will. They do not mess with your free will, but if you ask them of your own free will for signs and guidance, they will give it to you because they love you so very much. So be aware this week. So this choose love over fear. So there's some fear in going in, and that whispering, I really feel from Neptune about your worth is what is bringing in that fear of, well, what if I fail? There is no failure. If you're living your dream and you're doing your steps and you're enjoying your life, you get to decide what is success and what is not according to that. You don't have to believe all the hoopla from all the popular opinions of the outside world. You get to decide. And then we said also Saturn is going to be bringing in you in some the ability to have some sort of long-term gain in your life. So we're going to have the You Are Awesome deck and just see what they would like you to know. What is Saturn telling you about? This is a gain that you can have. Now Saturn also, they're not just a nonprofit organization that's giving away free stuff. Saturn makes you work for it. There's stuff that you've been working on, challenges that you've been given, and if you choose to do the work and put the effort in, then you get these long-term gains and these rewards. So this is what Saturn is bringing you as a reward. Boom, right away. And you've got beautiful card here. These are hilarious cards too. It says, dreams guide your path within this universe. I may need an ink-readable spacesuit. So basically, they're saying that they will bring your dreams to come true, and they will guide your path. So definitely and I kind of feel like this message that's here, and I'm just going to make some room for some other cards here for the advice from Spirit. In choosing unconditional love over fear and realizing your true power and, realizing what these whispers are to challenge you, to make you really stand up and go, no, this is really what I want, because I feel like they're like going, you can't do that, because they're like I'm trying to think of the word, but they're kind of like nitpicking and nudging you, going, you can't do it. You can't do it, because they're trying to get you riled up to go, yes, I can. And for you to be able to see what your capabilities are, because the planets don't do things, all this energy that comes in for our life, they don't come in it to make us feel bad and to embarrass us or to hurt us. Everything that they do is for us and for our path. So this is like they're just kind of riling you up. No, you can't do that. Poke, I'm not touching you. And it's getting you riled up to go, I can do that, and to have this fire come through. And then that's where this talks about the divine guidance to your path. As you raise your vibration and are choosing unconditional love, having this confidence you're able to raise your frequency and your vibration to that of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. That's the frequency at which spirit actually speaks, and you're able to listen to them and hear the advice that they're asking you to reach out to them for. And they will help guide you on this path. Your dream also will become more clear to you. Because if you wake up in the morning and go, oh crap, I got to go live my dream today, that's not your dream. That's some dream someone gave to you a long time ago that you've been trying to do out of fear of letting someone down. But you'll be able to understand and really tap into your true dream, like how you uniquely want to share this amazing energy, this amazing unconditional love with the world in your own unique way. Then you'll wake up early in the morning and go, before your alarm even goes off, and go, oh, I can't wait to start the day and go live my dream. Yeah, I might have to go work this job to have the funds to live my dream, but I'm going to do that and I'm excited. And so your whole life just kind of makes this little kind of swap and this change. And then lastly, we're going to use these Chinese tarot, and just to find out what more advice Spirit has for you around your week. So what else for our Aries? What else would you like them to know for this week? Okay, they do want that one. That one and that one. Okay, anything else? Okay, those two. All right, let me just spread these out a bit. And we'll start with this one over here, and you have the Justice card. So yeah, there's this balancing that's coming in here. The Justice, they usually will have, he does have a sword here. They'll have a sword, and they will have, sometimes they'll have like the scales somewhere in there too. I don't see it in this particular deck, but it is about this balancing. It is about this understanding between love and fear, in that we're usually out of balance in the beginning of our lives because we're so taught about fear and the conditions and the expectations and everything in the world that we're out of balance, right? We're in this chaos all the time. Fear, 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 fear. You turn on the TV, you look at your social media, you driving down the road. It's like everywhere, it's like fear everywhere, all over the place. And that's the way it works here, because we are in this giant amusement park of fear rides. So we're going to see fear rides all over the place. But we do have this ability to connect to the spiritual realm too. And that's what we were talking about here, about connecting to that unconditional love, to where it starts growing and growing, growing, and then you live more of this balanced life. And you can even go out of balance sometimes and have a lot of unconditional love and a little fear, but we get bored with that too, and we want some excitement and drama, right? So that's that Sagittarian energy. It's like, yes, I want excitement, but there's this balance that's coming into play here during this week. Then you also have temperance. So where justice is like the balancing of truths coming in, here you go with just the balancing of life. So definitely a strong message here of understanding that there's two sides to it all. Like I was talking about, life becomes very simple. I had a friend of mine that was like, oh my gosh, there's so many choices in life, and I just don't know what to do. There's just like, it's so confusing. And Spirit was like, I did a reading, and it was like no and yes. It was like, no. It's like, life is simple. There's two choices, yes and no. There's fear and unconditional love. So it's very, very, very simple. When we start putting things into those buckets, that's when that clarity comes around, and you're able to realize that peace that comes when you're not stuck in just one bucket. It's like, well, all I have to choose is fear. And when you realize, oh no, there's a whole nother flavor of ice cream in another bucket that you can, you're like, oh, really? I can try that one? You're like, yeah, give it a try. And like, well, this is really good. You can really balance out life with that. So this is a great message coming in here for you. Yeah. And then you have the Page of Cups. Cups is your emotions. Pages are all about newness. They are the ones that are starting off on the journey. And with the Page of Cups, I really feel like this is new emotion that's coming in here for you. And it's kind of like this, you have this new flavor, as I was talking about. You're like, what? I can have a different flavor than conditional love and fear. I can have unconditional love. And so that's like this message saying that. Also, pages are messengers. They're like, they go around and do the hear ye back in the days and go to the little towns. And so the pages, they're bringing messages of love. And so it's emotional messages. And when we were talking about reaching up and connecting to the higher realms, this is actually right above that card too. This is reiterating that yes, they definitely want you to reach out to them so that you can get the messages, get the confirmations. All the other royalty in the wand suit, the page and the knight and the king, they normally have like a salamander or something to protect them for the risks that they might be taken. But the queen always has like a black cat, because that represents like her familiar, that represents magic, represents connecting to the spiritual realm. And when you are in this maze of life where the walls are so high you can't see, but the wall next to you to the left and to the right, and there's the path behind you and the path forward, and you're walking forward and you go to a fork where you either have to go left or right, and you're like, hey, eye in the sky, and you can contact spirit who's above it all, and they see the entire maze, and you ask them, hey, which way should I go, left or right? And they'll go, hang a right, that's going to take you for the highest experience. You're like, okay, you take a right, and everyone's like, how can you just choose to do that? Why did you make that decision? But she's so confident with her connection that she's developed and maintains with the spirit realm that she trusts them. They've never let her down, and so she's able to do that. And I kind of feel like this is an important message for you today. And then you have the Four of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And this is about peace of mind. Because the fours, think of like a table with four huge legs on it. It's a very solid foundation. The other three swords, normally it would show like three swords on a wall and someone laying down on a sword, which that sword we were talking about here with that justice is the Ace of Swords. And the three swords that are usually up on the wall are expectations. It's the expectations card. Normally it's like a huge heart with three swords stuck in it. And each of those swords represents a different part of our life where we have fears. We're told relationships are supposed to make us feel whole and complete, and we must be successful with them. And that can be, romantic, family, friends, work, school, feather babies, fur babies, whatever relationships. The other sword is like situations and circumstances that we get into, like jobs and education and social status, things like that. And the third sword is like things like our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. And we're all told, that these things are what we're supposed to have and supposed to be successful at and head toward. But the more we invest in those, the more we realize how disappointing they are. And that's what, with the Three of Swords, with the heart, with the sword stuck in, that's that ping that, as the sword goes and disappoints us and goes through our heart. Because relationships, people change or they pass away, so they eventually disappoint us in some way. Situations never stay the same, so they disappoint us eventually in some way. And then our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts, all that stuff breaks down, deteriorates, is stolen, or catches on fire, So eventually those things end up disappointing us because none of those things are eternal. They're all temporary and unstable. But where that Four of Swords comes in, it's kind of like we were talking about, this balancing of the two. We've been spending so much time weighted trying to have and meet all these expectations, those popular opinions of the outside world that we've taken on as our expectations. And the Ace of Swords allows you to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm that are rooted in unconditional love. And so you start to become aware of these unconditional love truths. And it also gives you the ability to cut away the small t truths of the fear world that no longer serve you. They served you to allow you to feel the pain and the opposites of who you are so you can more fully understand who you are. But there comes a time in our lives where we're like, I'm ready to move on to something different. I'm, tired of eating that vanilla ice cream. I want some of that chocolate ice cream, right? And then we move into the final card here, which is the Lover's card. Exactly what I had talked about in the beginning. This is a Lover's card. This is the emotional choice between the two. So I love I love that the Lover's card popped up to confirm exactly what they told me in the very beginning. So they are definitely bringing a clear message here for you that as you go throughout this week, you can embrace the simple choice that every moment is either of unconditional love or of the fear of losing conditional love. And so you always have that second flavor that you can choose from. You're not trapped in that one bucket of ice cream. Right. I love this for you, Aries. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button. That gives you access to the notification bell. When you go in there, if you click on the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on the channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it really helps my channel grow in amazing ways. Because when you like a video or you share a video, you comment on a video, and especially if you subscribe to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so happy it wants to share the videos of the channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I'm very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, Aries, as you go through this fun week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week. I'll be talking to you soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.